All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you already know what time it is. And right here, right now, we actually have a legendary West Coast hip hop artist. We got the one and only Bennetti right here live on the line, man, formerly of the amazing hip hop duo DownNDirty Hustlaz. How are you doing this evening?
Oh man, I'm hanging in there, brother. What's good with you? I appreciate this opportunity. You know what I mean, and the invitation. Much love to you. In the country of Canada and all the listeners out there.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, man. And I'm doing all good down here in Canada, man. I hope everything's all well on your end out there on the West Coast. I noticed you guys are actually pretty well opened back up, man. It must feel good to kind of get back to relatively normal life.
Yeah, everything was shut down, man. Your normal way of living, was compromised for a while. You know what I mean? We had to improvise and follow different rules and whatnot. But you know, we pulled through.
But I got to take you back to the very beginning of your amazing career, man, because me personally, I've been a fan for a very long time, man. And the one thing I love asking individuals is like, what actually made you decide to get into music? Because I know everybody has a different story.
Well, I've always been, I always loved music, man. When I grew up, soul music filled my ears, in the household and things like that. So it was always in me. Um, my partner actually, which is one half of the Down and Dirty Hustlaz, Mac Delicious, uh, went by his house one day and he was working with a group. I forget the name of the group, man, but they was, he was the DJ and whatnot, and they was in there, doing their thing and whatnot. So I'm in there vibing and, checking them out or whatnot. And he was like, bro, you should write something, and I wasn't really entertaining it. And then I went home, and then I pulled out a pad and pen and started writing and stuff and came back, and did my little part on an instrumental beat. And he was feeling it, and that was the beginning of it.
And also, as well, man, in the early 1990s, you were actually a member of the legendary hip hop group DownNDirty Hustlaz, man. I was always wondering, what is the story behind that duo? And of course, how did yourself and Jay initially get connected?
Well, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We connected in high school back in the day. And, like I just explained about, being at his house and he was, DJing for another group and things like that. He put the idea of me, writing something and, coming back and giving it a shot. So I did that, everything, basically took off from there. We put together a group called West Coast Productions, and we had a manager by the name of Brian Goodspeed. We called him Goody Good. And he arranged for us to go down to L.A. to this show called The Gong Show. It's an old show back in the day. And we went down there, and basically what they did was they would have, like, different acts on the program, and they would get on there and perform or whatever or whatnot, and people gong them or whatnot. But we thought that could be our opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to, get our foot in the door. So we went down there, and we, did the show, performed or whatnot, and we didn't get gonged. And they was like, man, y'all too good for this show. So we was disappointed, actually. But, technically it was a compliment, so we came back and, stayed at it. And, then we hooked up with a couple of big homies in the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And, got them on board or whatnot. And, then we got everything rolling, you know what I mean? They all formed the record label, which was Butt Naked Records back then. And, then we had to try to figure out, like, what we was going to call our group, because West Coast Productions, we kind of, like, outgrew that or whatnot. So at the time, E40 and the Click, they was out and popping in the Bay Area and things like that, So they had this album called Down and Dirty. So we was like, well, why let's just call ourselves Down and Dirty Hustlers, So we just kind of stuck with it and, and took off from there.
And I gotta say as well, man, one of my favorite releases that you guys actually put out was actually a '96, man, Living with My Conscience. I believe it was like a 2-track vinyl that you guys actually put out, man, but it was always one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, I think that was Skulltown, the single off that second album we did, The Unforgiven. That was Skulltown. And then the flip side of that was Living with My Conscience. That was a song, created, just to kind of give people a vivid look, into, your living with consequences, after, you decide to do something, at the split second, you know what I mean? Because, it takes 5 seconds, to get, to put yourself in a predicament to where you're facing 50 years, you know what I mean? So we just tried to put that message into that song, and with that street element, and, you know what I mean? And it really hit. And we had LC, El Cheddar on there, for the hook. So he just brought it out, that much more.
And also as well, you guys actually put together a phenomenal full-length record titled Panty Fiend, I believe in the year 93, man. I was wondering if you can actually shed some light on this legendary release. And of course, man, what was it like just being in the studio putting together this West Coast classic?
To be honest with you, it was fun, man. it was fun. It was like we was the first group to put a tape out, in our neighborhood, Sunnydale, and it felt good, man. We went in there, and every session that we recorded, we had fun, man. We just had fun. It was there was some good times back then, man. Produced by Action Jack, and fond memories, bro.
And I remember as well, you guys actually featured El Cheddar on that as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a song "Suckers Stressin'."
Yeah, that was our big hit on that album, "Suckers Stressin'." And we was growing up, man. We was out there in the streets, you know what I mean? So, we was just, basically, speaking about, our experiences, things that we're seeing, things that we were around, and things like that, and how it affected people in different ways, and had, little issues, player hate and things like that. So, we just put all that into a gumbo pot, man, and we came up, with Sucker Stressin',
And I gotta say, man, when you guys actually had that big single, my personal favorite single off that record is actually Gangsterism 92, man. That's always my go-to joint when I slide in that tape.
You said, you blacked out. What you say?
Oh, my apologies. I said Gangsterism 92 is actually my favorite is my favorite go-to joint off that record.
Yeah, that was basically shining a light on on the street element. Back then, there was a lot of gang violence and neighborhoods against neighborhoods, and it was a lot going on back then, man. And we was young, we was feeling ourselves and whatnot. We was reporters of the streets, and we put it together on that.
And I also saw as well that record right now is actually selling for over $100 on Discogs. I have to ask, did you ever think that record Panty Theme would actually ever be that high in price and still climbing?
I never would have thought in a million years, man. That's news to me. Wow.
But also as well, man, going into the millennium, man, in the year 2001, you actually released your self-titled solo album. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this record, and of course, what actually made you decide to venture into a solo career outside of DownNDirty?
Well, with DownNDirty, our time span went from 92 to I think 97. And we released 2 albums as a group, and we participated on 2 projects, which was The Creeper, which was self-titled, and The Ghetto Soldiers. And then after that, we just, things just kind of, I didn't know which direction I wanted to go in regards to music, dealing with, life experiences and things like that, you know what I mean? So I was just kind of up in the air with the music, so I kind of fell back for a few years, you know what I mean? And got some other things going in my life, got my focus and, got some clarity and things like that, and I stepped back into it and put the Bennetti album together, which was self-titled. Hooked up with a couple of my comrades, Double R and C. Walker. They formed the record label at the time, Monumental Records, and we put that together. And that was my first step into growth and trying to spin the music from my standpoint, in a different directions, and I tried to highlight that. Had an opportunity to work with Laid Black Productions and GMan Stan, Les G, and Black C also produced our track on that album as well. So, that was a big step for me, man. It was a big step.
And also as well, man, in the year 2004, you were actually featured on G-Man's album, The Next Chapter, on the song, Life Is What You Make It. I was wondering, how did yourself and G-Man originally get connected? And of course, what was it like just collaborating with him on this particular project?
G-Man's the homie, man. He grew up, in the neighborhood, the Towers, which was right down the street from Sunnydale. You know what I mean? It's always love. And, he got at me about getting on the track, with him and myself and Mac and AK, the legendary group from East Palo Alto. And, we got down on it, man. That was love.
And I have to ask as well, do you guys still actually work together? Like, do you guys have any projects currently in the works, or is that just something you guys did way back in the day?
That was something that we did, but I tapped in with him later on when I took a break from music, and that was kind of like off and on doing like little mixtape projects, and I was hooking up with a lot of underground artists, just trying to get people from, different parts of the city and, and outside of the city, to collaborate, on popping beats and things like that, just to kind of build a camaraderie and, build some bridges and things like that, from a unity standpoint. And he participated on that, along with a couple other artists that was under him and, and a bunch of other people.
And also as well, a few years after the G-Man collaboration, in the year 2007, you were actually featured on UDI's Who You With mixtape Volume 1. I was wondering, man, what's the story behind that iconic mixtape? And of course, is it still available to be streamed or purchased today?
You know what? I'm not sure if it's available or not, but when I did my solo project, I started doing a lot of recording at Laid Black Studio. That's, Mr. Laid, who we lost recently. I want to say, rest in peace to the big homie, and condolences, to his family and to our music family, because it's an extended family. I had an opportunity to work with him with a lot of things, man. And UDI consisted of Big Quint and Dig, which was his brother, who we lost a while back. So I want to say rest in peace to him too as well. Yeah, man. Me and Lay, we had a good work history, man. Spent a lot of time together, building, working, talking, and all that, and, through working out that studio, I had an opportunity, to create a lot of relationships with a lot of artists that, that I didn't have ties with, so, looking back now and then looking at where I'm, where I am today and the relationships that, that I've established over the years, you know what I mean? That was the starting point pretty much right there with, at the studio with Laid and Chill Black, who is now known as KD Slap.
And also as well, man, September 15th of last year, 2020, you actually released the phenomenal 12-track album titled Food for Thought Volume 1. I was wondering if you can tell our listeners a bit more about this most recent release album, and of course, do you have any plans to actually follow up with a Volume 2?
Food for thought, man. My whole thing behind that, bruh, was that, you know, I really wanted to, you know, I was trying to add a different element, you know, to the game instead of more of the same, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically, you know, just making people think, man, you know, in regards to like content and you know, things that we highlight and promote, you know what I mean? Because influence is a powerful thing. You know what I mean? And if you don't grab it by the horns and you know, and guide it the right way, you know what I mean, it could be misconstrued, you know, and then, you know, the repercussions of that, you know what I'm saying, becomes, you know, it becomes to the point to where, you know what I'm saying, our culture gets tainted, you know what I'm saying, with putting out the wrong perceptions and things like that. And it starts entertaining, you know, entities, you know what I'm saying, that is not elevating our culture, but, you know what I'm saying, it's more so hurting it. You know what I mean? So the whole thing of putting Food for Thought together, man, was just basically, you know, trying to create a soulful hip-hop rap album. Being that, you know, I took a break from the game for so long or whatnot, you know what I mean? I just really wanted to, you know, touch people, you know what I mean? And it starts with the music. You pull them in with the music, you know what I'm saying? Once you get them there, you know what I'm saying, then they'll be more inclined to listen to what you got to say. You know what I mean? So once I captured that and tapped in with KD Slap, you know what I'm saying, who produced the album or whatnot, you know what I mean? He gave me the formula, which was all the beats or whatnot, and then I put my magic to it and put it out, man, and it was received really well, you know? So I'm very proud of that project. In regards to a follow-up, I'm working on a follow-up. Food for Thought Volume 2 is in the works. And, you know, the first single off that one is Elevate, you know. Food for Thought Volume 1, my first single off that was Grime Mode, featuring Dot Damage. And then I shot a video for Root of Scriptures. I had the pleasure to hook up with another iconic artist in the Bay Area, Silky, you know, and my folks, Charlie Manhattan. You know, we got down on that, you know, and put it together. And then I got a chance to get down with my folks, Black Seed and Seth the Gaffler, you know, two legends in the game. We did a song called Faith, and, you know, it's put together really nice, man, beginning to end, you know what I mean? So I'm very proud of that album.
And also as well, when you actually mentioned Elevate a few moments ago, that single actually dropped December 6th, so just days ago, man. I was wondering, what was it like actually working alongside the legendary Storm of the Outlaws, and of course Tiffany Trueblood, and of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy of this phenomenal single today?
Oh man, that's available on all platforms, man. Apple Music, Spotify, like, you know, whatever you stream your music at, you know what I mean? You can find Elevate there. First and foremost, you know, I'm a fan of Storm, you know what I mean? And I reached out to her a while back, you know, we was in communication, you know, through IG and things like that, and you know, the time came around to where, you know what I'm saying, she was open to doing some music, you know what I mean? So I started a track, she was feeling it, got back at her, you know what I mean, set a time to go down to LA, you know, so, you know, she arranged some studio time, I struck down there, we met up in the studio, you know, had a chance to meet her, you know what I mean, it was a humbling experience, you know what I mean, because she's a legend, you know what I mean? Straight up legend, and she's, you know, cut from that royal cloth, you know what I'm saying, of the late, great Tupac Shakur. So, you know, we had a chance to sit down and vibe for a few hours in the studio, you know what I'm saying, and, she had just put down the part, you know what I mean? So she let me hear it. I was blown away, you know what I mean? So I took the track, you know what I mean, and left out the studio, came back to the Bay, you know what I'm saying, knowing that I had, you know what I'm saying, I had a comrade and an advocate, you know what I mean? So I got back here to the Bay, you know what I'm saying, put my verse down, and then we put it all together, you know what I mean? Tiffany put the vocals down on it, you know what I mean? The Songbird, Tiffany Trueblood, you know, from North Carolina, you know what I mean? And we made magic happen, man.
And I gotta say, I definitely agree on the magic part, man. I gotta say, yourself alongside Storm and Tiffany, you guys had such phenomenal chemistry on that song. You know, I just have to say, man, you guys did a phenomenal job. I really hope that you three actually collaborate again, because that definitely was a phenomenal masterpiece.
Well, you know, I mean, hey, you know, you never know what the future holds, you know what I mean? But, you know, we definitely, you know, put together something powerful. You know, and the whole message behind it is, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, us as a whole, as a community, you know, we need to elevate, man, because, you know, this is our culture, this is our baby, you know what I'm saying, this puts it puts food on the table, you know what I'm saying, it takes care of our families, you know what I mean, we need to be able to coexist as one, you know what I'm saying, and you know, feed off each other, man, you know what I mean, and become a powerful entity, you know what I mean, and not allow, you know, people to have nothing to do with this culture, you know, control it. You know, us as artists, you know what I mean, we just, you know, I really just wanted to just, you know, get better, man. You know, we're losing too many people to senseless violence and, you know, and things like that, man. This music, you know what I'm saying, is supposed to be, you know, we're supposed to be having fun and teaching and you know what I'm saying, and lacing the young people, you know what I'm saying? We need to get back to that, man. And I'm not taking away nothing that's out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm proud of everybody that's out there getting it. But, you know, through it all, man, we got to look at the bigger picture, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, us being, you know, being grown, being men, being women, you know what I mean? We got to, you know, be more responsible, you know, and mindful, you know what I'm saying, of the messages that we're putting out there.
But I have to ask, man, what is next for yourself? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this broadcast? Anything else you still would like to talk about or promote? Well, we still got you here live on the FM dial this evening.
Yeah, man. If you was really vibing with Food for Thought Volume 1, man, Food for Thought Volume 2 is man, it's gonna be something, man. I got a lot going into this. I'm working with a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of different artists, you know what I mean, that's bringing so much to the table. You know what I mean? It's just a blessing, you know what I'm saying, to be able to still put out, you know, music, you know what I mean, with, you know, with substance, you know what I mean, at this age, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that like I'm just old as dirt, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, when I say age, man, you know, when we go back, bro, we, you know, let's take it, like, let's go back to, like, the old school, like, soul music, man. You know what I mean? It was never an age bracket put on none of those artists, you know what I mean? But when it comes to rap, you know what I mean, they put a lid on, you know, a certain age bracket, man. I say if you still got the win, you know, you still got the, you know, the creative ability, you know what I mean, and you still enjoy it, man, push it until the wheels fall off, you know what I mean? So that's the message to, you know, all my fellow old heads out there, you know what I'm saying? We got some OGs that's, you know what I'm saying, still in the cut, man. Come on out, man, dust it off, you know, and put something righteous out there, you know what I mean? And let's, you know, let's keep this thing going. But, yeah, Food for Thought Volume 2 is in the works. You know, after that, you know, who knows, man? Who knows? I'll cross that bridge when I get there, but I got a lot more music, you know, coming out for the people. So be on the lookout.
But also, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that slides into the radio station airwaves, just like a chance to give, like, shoutouts to whoever they want to give shoutouts to. but most of all, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated on everything you got going on if they're not already doing so.
Okay, okay. Well, my handles, you can find me on IG at Netty, Nettip, as in Paul Journey at IG. Um, I also got a separate page that's in the making. You know, we just getting it started. Famarati, FAMARAZZIENT at IG. You also can find me at Bennetti Music on Facebook. You can find me Sean Bennetti at Facebook. I also have an enlightening page that I'm pushing on Facebook called Black Food for Thought. So, you know, for those interested, tap in. You know, it's very knowledgeable. I also have an official website, www.bennetti.org. You know, you can get some merch there, hard copy CDs, and vinyl. A lot of things that I'm going to be doing with the website real soon, so, you know, stay tuned to that, you know. And, again, I just want to shoot love to you, man, just for, again, for the invite and the opportunity, you know, to, utilize the airways for a little bit, man, and, tap into all your listeners out there. I really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I gotta say, first and foremost, you are most certainly welcome, man. I've been a fan of yours for a while, man, so when I came across you on IG, I knew I had to slide in your DM and get you on the airwaves, man. It's definitely an honor to be able to help you push and promote, your projects in a different atmosphere down here in Canada, man. So I just want to say thank you very much for your time this evening.
Oh, man, anytime. Much love, bro. Anytime.
Hey, man, you are most certainly welcome, man. And first and foremost, man, I gotta say thank you so much for years of monumental music, and I'm definitely looking forward to many more years to come, man. But for now, definitely have yourself a wonderful night out there on the West Coast, man. Hopefully, down the line, we can make this happen again sometime soon.
Oh, man, I'm open to that, brother. I'm open to that. You know, anytime, any place, just let me know, man. It's all good, and I appreciate that.
Hey, man, most definitely. That sounds like a plan, man. Thank you so much again, and definitely have yourself a wonderful night.
You do the same, my brother. Much love.